Okay, guys, so we are back with the main CBC podcast right now for you guys, and hopefully you guys haven't missed me too much. I know some of you have. I'm sorry I haven't been here. I've been dealing with stuff that we talk about
He's
on
been with Papa
Twitch.
Disney.
Yeah, I've been showing for Papa Disney. I've been cashing in checks, traveling the world for Papa Disney, so it's been pretty good. Been pretty good. Some people are gonna take this audio back. See, he admits it. They're paying him.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's just like, oh, see, he's a shill confirmed.
Well,
Just like,
I mean,
yeah.
you know,
I mean, no,
not wrong, but
it was never not confirmed, but
So as always, this is Armin, the host. I can of course be found on like Twitter and Instagram or wherever. You guys just type in Arminis, and of course at Comic Book Cast. And I'm here with Mitch.
what's up? You can find me at Mitch692.
So if you guys want all the topics we're talking about, you can of course find it annotated and mentioned on wherever the hell you're looking at and listening to this. Just check the description down below to find all the topics. Some of the stuff we're going to be covering is of course the Russo brothers on the future of the MCU, more DC films in development that we'll talk about when we get there. Guardians Volume 3. I mean, well, yeah, we'll be real about it. But yeah, so let's get into the show proper. Out of nowhere, a surprising DC film, or Marvel film, I should say, is coming at us. I mean, DC's next. But hey, we got Shang-Chi coming.
Yep, this one came out of nowhere. Literally jumped out the shadow and slapped you in the face. Was like, hey, I'm here.
I mean,
I'm going to be.
It's such a weird scenario because it's like, a lot of people were under speculation. All right, Shang-Chi's probably going to be a Netflix series, and well, Shang-Chi's actually going to be a big budget MCU Phase 4 film. Like, that's...
Fun fact, this was a Netflix series, or at least it was a show before it became this movie. This was originally developed, I assumed, to go alongside Iron Fist and everything.
Yep.
But then it's just like, you know what? Let's just make it a show.
Yeah. I mean, just think about it. Like, I understand where Marvel is coming at this from, and Disney. They want to get into that Asian market, which is huge, and China specifically is about to overtake the United States as the number one biggest outlet for movies. I mean, that country alone is saving Venom and making it the biggest Spider-Man related movie ever. So like,
yeah, it's selling like 1 million a day over there or something.
Dude,
like that.
it's insane.
Nuts.
Like,
it's just slowly. If I won't be surprised if it hits 1 billion at this point.
Same. Like it's dominating, and at the same time, you think of Shang-Chi as a character, right? What a better way if you're struggling in a country with some movies to be like, you know what? We have this character who can address the stereotypes. We're going to have an Asian director and an Asian star, and it's part of the big MCU that people are loving. Like, it's such a genius move, honestly.
Yeah, there's only one thing I could say against that. I'm just going to check it. Because, Crazy Rich Asians didn't do so well in China.
So, that's the thing I was thinking about as well. I'm like, I don't know why that is, because I loved Crazy Rich Asians, and I thought I was going to hate that movie. So,
yeah.
like...
Still have yet to see it. It's on my list. But...
I don't know why that happened, but it seems that China is very, I don't know, selective, because, like, Star Wars can't find success there. Half the MCU movies can't find success there, but then, like, Venom and Transformers and, like, Jurassic whatever the hell are, like, the biggest things over there. So I'm like, what is like, how do they figure this out?
It's got to be just the dumb movies.
Yeah.
There's no, Jurassic World is dumb as hell.
Oh, my God.
Venom's dumb as hell. Like, it's got to be... To be fair, Venom, you can kind of fit that, like, Asian... I can see more why that did really well over there.
True.
And still does.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'd imagine it would do well in China.
You would think, right? But I think with the Chinese market, I don't think Hollywood has figured it out yet. Like, every year you hear it's like, oh, who's cracking the Asian market? And nobody from here. I guess Sony's cracked the Asian market, but I can guarantee you that whatever movie they put out next is probably not going to be successful there. So it's like, well...
Oh, no, not at all. Morbius is not going to do well in China.
Oh, no, not
unless
at all.
Venom's in it.
Yeah.
If Venom's in it, it's got a hope. But if it's just Morbius, nah.
My boy Morbius is going to dominate the box office. I can't wait.
He's gonna get the plasma.
Well, I hope they go with that. I really do.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Actually, what is Sony's next movie coming out?
Men in Black? Well, other than Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
Yeah, Men in Black isn't going to do good there.
Nah.
No.
Men in Black International, because they weren't international already. But
So, I mean, on the Shang-Chi front, remember, like, it was a couple weeks ago, maybe a month and a half ago or so, they completely scrapped whatever the summer 2020 movie was. And I said, I just talked to someone. They said, no, Marvel is going to put something in its place. Is this it? Do you release this as a summer tentpole? Like, because let's be real. If they start production on this movie in July, August of 2019, a year from then, they can do it because that's how they do every single movie they do. So, like,
yeah, that's very true. I could see it taking that one. But again, I still don't know about Guardians, because I can still see Guardians making that day.
I honestly think they pushed Guardians to May of 2021 for whatever that film is now.
Yeah. Well, because there's that, like, the Disney parks are opening whole Guardians and Marvel stuff, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like they're gonna want that movie out
right,
for
the
when
synergy.
that opens up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I just can't remember when. I want to say it's either 2021 or 2022 that all that stuff opens.
Mm-hmm.
I know Chat can help me out with that one.
Yeah.
But no, it's a tricky one because I imagine Shang-Chi's an easier movie to make. Like, you haven't got to make it massive in tons of CGI. Like, obviously, there'll probably be some CGI, but
I don't see a world where Shang-Chi is produced on more than $100 million, just because the nature of the character. Like, that's not an insult. I'm just saying, like, this dude isn't wearing an iron suit flying into space. Like, he's in China, and not just with that, like, you're gonna get a lot of tax breaks and cheap productions and everything in China. That's why they had, like, the Chinese international cut of Iron Man, because they're like, we could save like $50 million off Iron Man 3. That's like Robert Downey's payday just for doing it over there. They're like, all right, go shoot some stuff over there, like
they'll have that one scene that no one else will get.
Mm-hmm. And like, also with that, you have to imagine that Disney is probably looking to build China lots so they can expand into that territory. So, like, I think this movie happens quicker than most people are expecting. Like, it's going to be one of those that they're like, no, we got to push this forward. So,
but what do you see a Shang-Chi movie being? Is the question. Because I've seen some people say like you can make it like a Bond type movie, like a James Bond. But I don't know anything about Shang-Chi, so I can't really say. No.
Honestly, I know very little. Like, I've seen him in a few of the comics that I've read with Iron Fist, because as people know, I've been on like a huge Iron Fist kick the last like 2 months, and I've talked about it. To me, Shang-Chi is going to have to be that type of Bond character. Yes, working from that territory. But as well as that, you address the Fu Manchu thing, because Fu Manchu is his, well, spoiler alert, it's a family relative. So,
all right.
If you tackle that and you tackle that stereotype, which now retroactively makes it even better that Iron Man 3 didn't do that with the Mandarin, I think this movie can really stand on its own, being like, look, we're going to address the issue, and we're going to tackle it full on, but you're also going to get an awesome Marvel movie that speaks to today's audience, like they try to do with most of their bigger movies. I think I could see what they're doing here and what the story's going to be without necessarily, going deep into it. So
that's fair. But could you see them like addressing the Mandarin thread that they left in All Hail the King? For this, or is that a bit too like stereotypical? Like,
I think so. Like, maybe. I think they could tie it all around. Like, I really think, because the Mandarin's still out there. It's just, like, that would be kind of cool. Honestly, be like, oh, it's the real one, and Fu Manchu. Let's tie all those together and make it one thing and wrap up the Mandarin. I think that would be honestly a smart decision. So that's my take on it, at least. I don't know what they're gonna do, but. Yeah.
Because obviously, like, not knowing it, like, the only thing I've read of Shang-Chi is the little he was in Hickman's Avengers run for Time Runs Out and all that stuff.
Yep, I remember that. Yep.
Couldn't tell you everything, so it's like maybe it's a bit stereotypical to just jump to the Mandarin, but it's like there's no other. Is there a better place to do it than?
Exactly. Yep. So yeah, that's our talk on Shang-Chi. I should let people know I am going to be picking up some Shang-Chi comics to read, so give it a couple months. I should be like 150 plus comics in. So then I'll know way more what they could do. But that's like my next go-to once I'm done all of Iron
Going full
Fist.
bandwagoner.
Pretty much. I pretty much like become Paul with the wagon. So that's a deep cut for some of you lore experts.
So you're going to have to change that cycle meme for our meme cycle.
Oh, no. No. It's happening.
Well, we should add just quickly that it is David Callahan writing it.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Or doing the script. You know, there was rumors that he was doing a movie, and from what I know, I think the original one might have been scrapped, and he's now doing this one. But I'm not 100% on that. But, you know, he's doing this and the Spider-Verse sequel at the same time, so...
Remind me to talk to you after this podcast about something before I forget. Just, Secret stuff, folks. Next up, we're finally arriving at the future of the DCEU and DC's film department with Jaime Reyes as the Blue Beetle, who has a movie in development.
Mm-hmm.
Does he really, though?
That's the question of the day, isn't it, really? Is it actually going to happen? Or is this your DCEU roulette, and it was just a mundane it got announced?
Dude, every week there's the DCEU roulette. Like we can't stop playing the same game anymore. It's just constant. Like, and don't get me wrong, I would love to see this movie for so many fans, right? But how? Like, this to me works more as a TV show on the streaming service.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know, it's just such a weird one. It's like, you know, he's never really had that big of a success in the comics. Like, you know, when was the last time his run went past like 12 or 25 issues? Like,
and I know people are gonna bring this up. I know people will bring this up, talking, well, neither did Ant-Man, neither did this. But here's the thing: Ant-Man and like the Guardians had a powerful brand behind them already that was successful, like Blue Beetle. And people will also bring up, it was 6 or 7 years ago, Jeff Johns actively worked on a Blue Beetle show for the CW. There's even test reels out there with special effects and stuff. So to me, I'm sorry, but this is a DC Universe streaming project, 8 to 12, 13 episodes, whatever they will. I could see it fitting that universe that they're building on Titans so flawlessly. Like, and is the movie really gonna take one of those tentpole spots for Warner Brothers? Like, I get it, they want to go with the Hispanic, and I get what they're going for, but you guys, it just seems like they're jumping on the gun and announcing it because they want diversity, not because they want to make this. And I know people bring up, but Marvel's doing it with Shang-Chi. To a degree, yes, but once again, Marvel's come out with so many movies that people didn't think were going to succeed, and they've proven people wrong. DC is announcing 10 movies a year, and we're not hearing anything about them. So
I was going to say, how big's their slate now? They're like 40 movies in.
Yeah, it's last I checked, we were at like 32.
Yeah, and we don't have a Man of Steel sequel or a Batman movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, Reeves is working on the Batman, but where is that movie? He's been working on that for like 3 years now.
Right.
Where's everything? You know, if Warner Brothers didn't have this track record of announcing things and it never happening, this conversation would be vastly different.
Right.
Yep. And that's the reason why we will say, you know, it's probably not going to happen. Like, it's a cool idea. I'd like to see it. I'd watch it, obviously. Like, I even watch the show, but I can't put any stake in this happening because just look at everything.
I mean, we're at the point where they could literally come out tomorrow and be like, we're going to work on Man of Steel 2. And I'd be like, no, you're not. You're really not. Like,
no.
Because
it's like, who's your Superman? You haven't got one.
Right. You don't have a Superman anymore. Hell, like, you know, DC roulette continues because apparently Superman and The Flash are now actively being downplayed. They're not even going to be working on those. Like, The Flash has lost all momentum now. Like, The Flash.
The irony.
Like, I know, right? Like, The Flash is slowing down.
Like,
Jesus.
Oh. Yeah, it's, you know, the Flash one you can kind of understand. There's Fantastic Beasts and he has that franchise to do, and they're pumping that out as quick as they can. But
yes, they are. Everything
else is just like I think there's rumors that the reason why you're getting all these films being talked about is because they just got a revolving door of people pitching ideas.
Yep.
For whatever character they want. It's like, I believe it with everything. So, no, it's not necessarily a bad way to go, but then you kind of haven't really got anything that's coherent. It's just all here, there, and everywhere. But
And I mean, at the same time, you're looking at DC Roulette, and you're having James Wan, the man saving the DCEU, being like, I would love to do my own Batman. And I'm just like, oh God, what is happening with Batman? And this lines up with some things I've heard about Matt Reeves' latest script that make me worry about Batman happening. So I'm just like, oh God, guys, like, can we just get the current slate out? Can we get like a Green Lantern update? Like, what is happening with that thing? You know, like, and you're gonna focus on Blue Beetle? Come on, like, I don't get it. I don't get their mentality. You know, like,
no, it's a weird one. It'll be interesting to see a different timeline where they weren't in this situation.
Right.
Like, where would they be?
Mm-hmm.
And what would everyone be saying? Like, would the films be good? Maybe, probably, but
it's also like one of these things where I'm looking at their, you know, quote unquote slate, and I'm just like, so where exactly does this go, and what's the promise here? Because I honestly,
there isn't one.
No, there isn't.
There's no promise of any payoff or anything. It's just, oh, here's movies.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like they've just thrown the hat into the ring or thrown the towel. It's just like, you know what, we tried the shared universe. It didn't really pan out. No, let's step away from that. And if things pan out down the line, we'll try it again. But
right, and that's like the type of thing that kind of just makes me irked about this is like, why haven't you like actively just worked on, I don't know, what people are asking for? Like, look, if you need to recast Superman and do a new Superman, then do it. Like, people will hate you, but people also give it a chance. So
it's like, at this point, you know, people for the most part weren't really attached to Cavill anyway.
No.
So it's not that big of a drama if he goes. Same with Affleck. Like,
yep.
People like Affleck. He was okay. No.
But
I wouldn't care if I don't see Affleck again.
Let's be real. I remember 2 years before Affleck was cast, nobody could beat Christian Bale because he was the best. The moment Affleck was in the role, the tides shifted. The moment the next dude gets the role, tides are going to shift. And yes, you're going to have the vocal minority that makes it seem like everybody hates it. But guess what? That's not true. Like, the everyday person's not going to care. So, you know, it is what it is. It's kind of hard facts here. So, in closing, Jamie Reyes, Blue Beetle, or Jaime Reyes, no, I don't think this is happening.
Nah.
Nope.
I hope it does, but that's all
Same.
I've got for it. It's just hope, nothing else.
As Travis Knight, the director of the upcoming Bumblebee, he's denying Guardians 3 involvement in rumors.
Yep. Now let's look at the long list of people that are denied rumors for Marvel. You have Paul Rudd. You have Cumberbatch.
Dude, Paul Rudd and Cumberbatch literally day before they were officially announced saying there's no truth to it. So
I think Cumberbatch denied it a couple of times because it was like in November he said it once and then he got asked again a couple of months later on and it's like, oh yeah, he's cast. It's just like, well,
yep,
I can't believe anyone anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Knight says he's focused on like the animated stuff. I mean, sure, but we'll see. I know full well you've been talking to Marvel for years about doing something at this point. So,
I know he talked to them like years ago at this point, so it's not really a spoiler, but I was personally told that Travis Knight, before he was even like as big as he is with Kubo, and I think that was him behind that movie, right? I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Right.
Kubo, yeah.
At the time, he was even talking to them about Ant-Man with the whole Edgar Wright situation. So they've been in the conversation for years, and honestly, he can say, oh, there's no truth to those rumors, because guess what? He's probably seen some of the feedback of people going, you know what? Yeah. And he probably wants a bigger payday, so he's downplaying it just... It's business. It's Hollywood, you know?
And as Chat just pointed out, Gyllenhaal denied Mysterio, and now look what has happened today. He's got that video on Instagram. It's just like, well...
He literally denied it when there was a close-up of his face on set of the movie. They're like, no.
Yeah. That's not me. It's just a lookalike.
So, I mean...
That's the mysterious part of it.
Right. And what do you think is the future of Guardians 3? Because let's be real. People are saying they're going to cancel it. Guys...
There's no way. No way.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same as people going, oh, Disney cancelled the Netflix shows. It's like, no. Like, you can have your wild theories and your wild opinions. That's perfectly fine. Just know that they're wrong. Disney aren't going to cancel a multi-billion-dollar franchise because they lost a director.
A director, right? And here's the thing. If Disney plays this smart, and I think that's what they're doing, they're not going to get that guy director. They're going to get someone who has a pedigree of work that when you look at it, you go, that's why they got that guy. That's why it took longer. Exactly. Like, they don't want the backlash from, the rehired James Gunn guys to be as big. They want it to be like when those guys look at it, they go, well, I wish I had James Gunn back, but this guy is talented, so I'll stick through with it. You can see what they're doing and why they're taking their time, because they want to make sure everything plays out correctly,
Well, exactly. It's the same with everything. People expecting the X-Men in Avengers. Like, they're not going to rush the X-Men casting in a couple of weeks when they want them for 10 years. Like, it's not good. That's not going to happen.
I mean,
it's not going to happen because they can't do it anyway legally. So
right.
No, it's the same with this. Like, I imagine once Bumblebee's out and there's a bit more talk about him, if that movie's really good, which I expect it will be.
Yeah.
Like, you might get a bit more, and this is like, well, see, give me more money for it.
That's exactly. I'm fully expecting Bumblebee to be like the best reviewed and talked about Transformers movie yet. That's live action, and then he's gonna sit down at the table being like, so I fixed 5 or how many ever messed up movies that Michael Bay did. How much can you offer, and what can I do for this that has my unique spin on it? And Bumblebee looks like it's a character-driven movie, and from what we understand, Guardians 3 was gonna be character-driven by Rocket. So I can see the connection here and why they might want him. The pieces seem to be lining up a little bit.
Yeah, and as chat says, the Guardians Epcot roller coaster is going to be in 2021. So when Guardians 2 was supposed to start in January, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was supposed to be out in like May to August of 2020. So a year delay, I could see possibly happening from that.
It's more than doable. This whole they're going to delay it and start in 2022. No, they're not going to delay it that much.
Yep.
But just because I don't think it's going to have enough movies for that, But 2022 is the end of Phase 4 probably. So. For something that's supposed to set up the next 10 years of Marvel, missing 3 is not exactly a good way to go. But they could announce this in like January and be like, oh yeah, we're going to start in 2 months.
And it would perfectly work out, And honestly, since it's a new director coming in and they need more time, he's got to try to capture that James Gunnish vibe. I would be fine with them being like, you know what? This movie's going to take an extra 6 to 8 months, which we typically don't take with our movies, to get it right, because they don't want to mess this up. Like, it tonally has to look and feel like it clicks with the rest of the series. You can't just
although they're really going to, they're going to keep Gunn's script. They're not going to change that.
No, not at all.
Travis Knight will put his own spin on it, obviously, because no director wants someone else's work. They want to do their own stuff. I just hope and pray that Travis Knight pulls a Bumblebee, and it's like, well, people have wanted the Gen 1 Transformers, here they are, and it's like, oh, here are the Guardians uniforms. It's the last movie, so it's the perfect time.
Right.
That's my hope, but
And honestly, seeing how Travis Knight kind of works, I guess is the best way to say it, and how he's doing Bumblebee, paying respects to the original source, like hardcore. I could see him doing it. You know what? Let's go more comic book roles. Let's do it like this. And I think I can understand why they want him.
Yeah, especially like the way the Guardians arc seems to have gone. You could very easily just if Gamora does stay gone. Spoilers, you haven't seen Infinity War yet. I don't know what you're doing. But if she is gone like forever, you can transition at least Quill into like the more rough Star-Lord that was in the comics before.
Yep.
And Rocket, if you delve into his past, you can make him a bit more like the Rocket in the comics.
Exactly.
Not that Rocket's that far off, but I can see them doing that, and he can just slot in nicely with everything. So
right,
it wouldn't be I'd be fine with Travis Knight doing it. So
same. I mean, I think if it happens, and I have no doubts, it probably will. He's just downplaying it, that it's going to be something good. But, I guess we'll talk about that as we hear more. Maybe after Bumblebee comes out, we'll probably hear a little bit more.
Yeah. I say give it February, and he'll be confirmed.
Yeah,
that seems to be... Or at least he'll get asked again
True.
and then he'll deny it, and then give it a week and not be confirmed.
Um, DC roulette continues as Zatanna is rumored to be in development.
Yeah, according to Deadline, they just casually slotted Zatanna in the list of female DC movies that are coming
I
out.
absolutely love that. There's like, this ain't worth a headline, but just throw it into this.
Like, it's not even. It's just. Oh, I can't even. What is the headline? I got it here somewhere.
It was something about like female movies or something, and then it's like, here we go.
Yeah. Spider-Woman, Captain Marvel, and Harley Quinn, females fly in the face of old Hollywood perceptions. And it's just like, oh, it's Zatanna. It's like, okay, Deadline. Okay, I see you. It's like no one really talked about it. People were like, hey, they say Zatanna in here.
Yep.
But yeah, we're now doing side characters or supporting characters as movies now. I suppose we've got Ant-Man, really. I can't really throw shade too much, but if you're going to build Justice League Dark, I suppose Zatanna could warrant a movie, but
yeah. It's a weird scenario to be in, right? Because like, is Zatanna again? I don't want to sound like a broken record, but again, this seems to me like it's one of those, like
someone's walked in the door as a Zatanna fan, and they're like, "I want to make a movie." It's like, sure,
yeah,
give us a pitch, and we'll say it's in development. Right.
Mm-hmm. And how do you think, honestly, like, what does a Zatanna movie like include? Do you think they build up the Justice League Dark in this? Like, what do they do with it?
That's the only thing I think you can do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know Zatanna that much. I don't know DC characters that much. But it's just like, really? No, surely all you could really do is Justice League Dark. Like,
yeah.
I mean, sure, if they're gonna like do a Justice League movie properly, and it's like, here's Zatanna, here's Constantine, here's Swamp Thing, and they won't do Swamp Thing because the DC universe. But if they did it that way, then fine. But I think you could do Justice League Dark like Guardians, to be honest. But I don't know. It's a weird one. It's virtually the same conversation as the Blue Beetle one. I highly doubt this will get made.
So I mean, looking at it this way, try to look at it a little more optimistically why this movie might happen. So I understand where they're coming at, like with this movie. It's like, look, we get it. Female push again. This is great. I get what you're going for and why you might want to do this, but, and this is the major part, the issues you're having here with a Zatanna movie is that there's no like, oh, she's this or that or female or whatever. It's the biggest issue you're having with this is the fact that I don't know if there's a want for this character. Like, she was already on Smallville before, and it seems to me again like a smaller character that's more suited for something like this. Like.
No, I agree. She's like, it's a supporting character.
Mm-hmm.
That's not it's not throwing shade. It's not being negative about it. It's like at least that's what I perceive Zatanna to be. But
yep.
I don't know. I just can't think of Justice League Dark is probably the only positive I could think of coming out of this movie. Like, yes, people like Zatanna, but do people want a Zatanna solo movie?
Yeah.
I honestly, I've never seen anyone ask for that. But...
Same, and that's kind of the issue I'm having. I'm like, who has asked for this? Like, that's kind of the cynic in me going, well, okay, who's directly asking for this and why? And if they are, like, what's the reasoning? Like, I don't get it. So it could work. It could work. Like, it's
it could absolutely work. And same with Blue Beetle, I will absolutely go and see it because I think it'd be a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see it happening. So what's the point in getting excited?
Right. Yeah. I don't want to get excited because I've been so let down by so many other false starts and promises. Like, my favorite director of all time, Guillermo del Toro, has a complete script for Justice League Dark.
Yeah.
And he would go practical with that. He'd be like, no, guys,
absolutely.
less CG. Absolutely. We're going to build like this manor. It's going to look amazing. We're going to have every prop physical. And like, that makes me like salivate at the mouth because he's my favorite director ever. And they're just, how do you turn down that after the dude's like,
I was like, how do you turn down multiple Oscar-winning director Guillermo del Toro?
I don't get it.
How do you turn that down?
I don't get it. That's like, most people would be like, this is the greatest thing you could have possibly given us. That's the thing, right? And it's like, no.
I don't know. It's just so weird. Like, I mean, if you have like Constantine in there, maybe sure. I could see it happening a bit more, but Constantine's on CW, so I highly doubt it.
Yeah, and
You
if
know,
it's gonna appear, you're gonna have to rip them out. So it's like, well,
because I think it's proven so far that they can't, they have no idea how to handle a character that they have two of.
yeah,
It's like, oh, well, CW's got Flash, or how do you make it different for a movie? No idea. It's like, oh, they have Constantine having it different for a movie? No idea. But
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and Del Toro even said, look, if I do this, I'll look at Matt Ryan and maybe we can do something with that. So it's like, oh, he wanted to try that, but that's smart. Like,
yeah,
maybe
I
he could have
absolutely
connected it.
love Matt Ryan Constantine in the movie.
He was so good. Like he carried that like character like to. Oh my god damn it! Makes me so.
So I know we spoke like about what 10 minutes ago. It's like, oh, just recast him. It's just like I don't want anyone playing Constantine ever again.
Same. Yep.
It's just me, Matt Ryan. He's too perfect.
He's like the Chris Evans and the Robert Downey Jr. of the DC world.
Yeah.
It's like no, he's the most perfect casting you've ever had. Like the dude is that character. Like he looks and sounds and acts like him. So.
No, if you can make me forget the Keanu Reeves Constantine, then you've done good.
Dude, I watched that the first time, like, when I was wee little nooblet Armin and didn't know nothing about Constantine, and my dad rented it, and it was garbage. Oh,
See, I didn't know anything. I would say it's not a bad movie on its own. It's just not a good Constantine movie.
Yep.
In fact, it's a terrible Constantine movie.
Yeah. Awful.
It's not the best movie on its own, but I couldn't watch it.
No.
It's dumb fun.
So with
I say dumb fun. He commits suicide, so it's not really dumb fun, but.
So.
Yay.
The Russo brothers are making their rounds known as they're doing interviews and teasing stuff. So, Mitch, what have they been teasing?
Well, they say that they're done after Avengers 4, whatever that may be called at this point. We'll find out soon. And the only way they would come back is if Disney did a Secret Wars movie.
You know, this isn't even the first time they've mentioned it, and neither has Kevin Feige. So,
I say, the guys have been at this for what? When did Winter Soldier come out?
I mean, they've been at this for like 5 years now, working with Marvel.
Yeah.
So
it's like, let's give him a break, and then maybe Avengers 5 is Secret Wars. Bring them back for that. Give them a few years break. Bring them in that. They clearly want to play with the X-Men and Fantastic Four, especially with Wolverine. So let's let them go do their class and get off their face in that bar that they got in California, and then just bring them back.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'd do. But
I mean, let them do their own thing. When you're ready to do Wolverine, where both of them have stressed that's their favorite character, let one of them take it solo and branch out while the other one oversees the other stuff. And then when it's time, when they've done a proper Wolverine and we have the X-Men and stuff, bring them back, do that damn Secret Wars movie, because let's be real, we need that movie. Like, we're going to need that movie.
Yeah. I mean, where else do you go after that? Well, I mean, after Infinity War, you kind of have to go something like a Secret Wars.
Personally, how I feel is Avengers 4 is going to be the new Avengers style, right? You're going to have Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, like that's your new Avengers. Avengers, that's like Avengers 5 to end Phase 4. 6, you realistically do like what? Maybe that's like your Avengers versus X-Men. And 7, you do Secret Wars. So you spread this out. And then after that, you can do Galactus or whatever the hell you want. But like,
I was going to say, would you not do Galactus before?
Would you? I mean, I don't know. Because Galactus is Secret Wars to me. Maybe you could make it 2 in 1? Like, 2 birds, 1 stone? Like...
I mean, you possibly could. You could do like the whole Cataclysm route.
Yeah.
I can't remember how that actually went down, but I know Galactus is involved in it.
Right. Yeah. I think there's a lot of possibilities, and I mean, they're teasing so much stuff. Like, they're opening now, being like, well, when Marvel gets X-Men and Fantastic Four, I'm like, yeah. They know full well. So it's a done deal at this point. No one's really saying no to that deal internationally, so it's only a matter of time. But they do make a point of saying that the Fantastic Four and X-Men, well, especially the X-Men, aren't going to be in there straight away. Like, Marvel are going to do what they're planning to do, and then they're going to think about the X-Men. Like, sure, they got X-Men plans already set,
No, that's obvious, but no, it's nice to know that they're not just going to rush them out the door.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to rush them out the door. You want to do it properly, but not just that. You have to kind of introduce these characters slow into the universe. Like, I don't want to just see an X-Men movie out of nowhere. I want to see maybe someone show up. I want to see, like, Bruce Banner be like, I have a scientist friend. This is Reed Richards. Reed, blow everybody's mind with some quantum crap. Oh, look, Reed Richards. You know, like, I need something like that first. Like, slow introductions, sort of Civil War style, you know, add these characters in gradually, then spin them off, because that's kind of the way to do it in my eyes anyway, but I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you could put Johnny Storm in Spider-Man first. And spin it out that way.
Yes.
Don't know how you did the other three, but
Reed Richard, friend of theirs, of Bruce Banner's, or someone that he hasn't talked to for a while, maybe, or something along those lines. Or maybe even Hank's friend, who knows? Sue go along with him. Ben Grimm, he can just be the new one that shows up in the movie. You don't have to do Ben Grimm, because let's be real, before the powers, he's kind of just a moron, to put it nicely. So, like,
I don't know about that. I can see Ben being like the heart of everything. So he kind of is.
Oh, he definitely is.
I
But
think...
I'm saying, like, before he becomes the Thing, like, if he shows up, he's like, I'm Ben Grimm.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Who's gonna be like, oh, that's the Thing? Like,
yeah. I can just see them putting more of a focus on him, kind of like how Dan Slott's doing it. It's like, no, Ben's the focal point of my new run.
Mm-hmm.
But plus that way, you know, you've got to... Hopefully they stick to the whole Jewish side with him.
Oh, yeah.
And they can do a bit more rep for that.
That'd be kind of cool. Like, a very good way to take it. And what I do like about the Russo brothers, specifically recently that they've been talking about all this stuff, is they're not afraid to kind of voice their opinion on topics, you know, such as this. Like,
yeah.
They're not being very secretive, and they're not downplaying stuff. Obviously, they're doing the PR spin, if you will, but they're not doing it as bad as some other people in studios do, where it's like, oh my god, you guys literally say nothing. You just ask the question back, you know, like, that's not how to do it.
Pretty much. But I'm just trying to think how you do, because isn't the whole thing of they're going to be in the quantum realm? Isn't that the hot rumor at the minute?
Yeah.
So it's just like,
I mean, I've been saying quantum realm literally since Ant-Man. Since I did how I would do the Fantastic Four. I was like, nah, you toss those dudes in the quantum realm. Like, to me, that seems like a way to go. And, like, a different route. And obviously we now know the quantum realm gives you those damn powers. So, sure.
Yeah, you'd also, like, flesh out the history a bit more and be like, oh, look, they were the space race. And the space race went to the quantum realm instead of the moon. Or whatever.
Yep.
Do it that way. You know, obviously Eternals are going to set up X-Men, so...
Yeah, honestly, it's a lot of stuff that I think that you're going to set up slowly, but it's a lot of stuff I'm excited for. Like, really excited for, because this is the stuff, like, a proper Doom and Fantastic Four movie. Okay, let's talk about that. Doctor Doom has to be a phase villain, right? Like, he can't just be a one-and-done Fantastic Four, so... Oof.
Yeah, you know, Doom could be the Secret Wars. Do it that way. I'm sure that's skipping the Beyonder and going straight to Secret Wars 3, but...
Dude, Beyonder, I don't... That's hardcore right there.
Yeah, let's skip the Beyonder. No one wants the Jerry curls and the pop color.
I want the Beyonder from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. That's what I want.
Oh, God. What with Madam Web?
Oh, God, yeah, I'll take it.
They better not put Madam Web in the movies.
No, I wouldn't like that.
Save Madam Web for the animated ones. She works better in that.
Right. Yep. We're just going to take it up and wrap up this podcast. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad I could be back this week, and hopefully you guys stick around for a little bit, because we're going to have the post show that we do on Twitch every time we do this. And then, of course, we answer some questions from you guys, and you guys can catch up with us every time we do this show, or wherever we do things, which seems to be plenty of outlets, which you can Google. Comic Book Cast, one word, go do it.
Exactly.